Hey friends, this is Nick, and I call my channel DZ Performance, and I appreciate you tuning in. The motor that I've got to bring you this weekend is my 505 big block Chevy. That's 100 over 454 block that has a 4 1/4 stroke crank. And let me show you a few dyno pulls on this motor, and I'll come back with the results. Today we're comparing the Enforcer cylinder heads by Airflow Research and a well-prepared set of 781s.
Just started to flow.
Okay, let me share the specs on my 505 big block Chevy and the dyno results. Starting at the bottom, this is a Meladon oil pan. It's a Meladon windage tray. The 1974 454 block's been upgraded to a splayed bore main caps 4-bolt main with ARP windage tray studs. The crankshaft is a 4 1/4 scat lightweight forged steel. The rods are 6.385 forged steel I-beam scat rods. The pistons are Molly 18cc dome power pack style pistons with ring of 1.5 millimeter first and second ring and a 3 millimeter oil scraper ring. What we used on intake manifold for both motors was Victor Junior's. A rectangle port, of course, on the Airflow Research Enforcers and a oval port on the 781s. Going over the cam specs with you, it's an extreme energy hydraulic roller. The duration measured at 50 thousandths is a 242 on the intake and a 248 on the exhaust. The lift is a 540 intake and a 560 exhaust. Lobe separations of 110. The lifters that I used are by Lanite. They're solid rollers, but this is a hydraulic roller cam, so I tight lashed them at about 5 thousandths. So further, the Renegade heads, I'm sorry, those are Enforcer heads. The Enforcer big block Chevy heads, they're just straight out of the box, not modified at all, just the way I got them from Summit. The 781s, they are that head there is just a prop. It is a 781. The 781s are sold and gone, but this test I did about a year ago. The 781 cylinder heads that this test was run with were very nice. They were Manley 2.19 intake valves and 188 exhaust valves. They were a competition valve job, 5 angles on the intake and a back cut at the lapping mark on the valves, custom back cut. They were pocket ported, gasket matched, and smoothed throughout. They were what I'd call a level 1 cylinder head porting job. But they were well done for just a basic port. But the numbers that we got with the 781s was 637 horsepower and 627 foot-pounds of torque. That is right at 1.26 horsepower per cubic inch, which is a pretty nice street motor when you've got a iron head pump gas motor. The Airflow Research Enforcers, it made 671 horsepower and 653 foot-pounds of torque. The same rockers was used on each combination. They were Scorpion 1.8s. The Enforcer cylinder heads, I ran the 1000 CFM Pro Systems, which is always worth at least a couple horses over any other carburetor I have. The carburetor that I run with the 781s was my 850. Other than that, it was a really a direct comparison, just different cylinder heads. I just happened to make the mistake of running the 850 on the oval ports iron heads and the 1000 on the Enforcers by Airflow Research. The compression ratio was a little different. The Enforcers with the 120 cc combustion chambers, the compression only got up to 9.9 to 1. The 781s had milled deck surface, got the combustion chambers down to a 115, which created a 10.4 compression with that. With the size of cam that we were running in this test, I estimate 93. The test was ran on 93 octane pump gas, but I think you could use that motor easily with 93 pump gas. Well, that's my test that I'm bringing you today. It's my 505 big block Chevy. Thank you.